When a younger woman asks about your age, many guys get caught off guard, blurting out things like, "I'm only 45, is that okay?" Or, "I'm 50, but people say I look younger." Some might even say, "I'm 55, but I'm super active. I work out and take care of myself." While these might seem like harmless replies, they often come across as insecure, and insecurity is a quick way to lose her interest. Here's the thing. Your age isn't the problem. The real challenge lies in how you respond. Much like in Stoic philosophy, it's not the external circumstances, but how you react to them that defines you. A confident response can spark her curiosity and elevate the interaction, while a nervous one can shut things down entirely. In this video, I'll not only explore why younger women ask about your age, but I'll also share how you can respond with the kind of poise and self-assurance that Stoicism champions, showing strength through calm confidence. Stick around, because by the end, you'll have some rock-solid responses for men over 40 that you can start using right away. Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe if you're ready to transform how you handle relationships using the power of Stoicism. Every video is a step toward mastering your mindset and building stronger, more meaningful connections. First, let's dive into why she's even asking about your age in the first place. Most of the time, like over 90% of the time, when a younger woman asks, "How old are you?" she's not trying to decide if your age is a deal breaker. What she's really doing is figuring out how you feel about your age. Are you comfortable with it? Or does it make you feel insecure? She's looking for signs of confidence. She wants to see if your age is just another part of who you are, something that adds depth to your character. In that moment, what she's really testing is your self-assurance, your confidence, and the level of maturity that comes with your life experience. Here's something to remember. She already knows you're older than her. It's obvious from your appearance and the way you carry yourself. She's not asking to figure out if you're a match. She's already decided you're worth talking to. Her question is more about seeing how you handle it. The real reason she's asking about your age goes beyond the obvious. She's not just looking at the number. It's about figuring out what that number says about you. Are you confident in who you are? Or does your age make you feel uneasy? Women are incredibly quick at picking up on insecurity, and let's be real, it's not attractive. No woman wants to be with someone who's uncomfortable with himself, especially when it comes to something as natural as aging. So how do you answer her? Simple, with confidence and certainty. Whether you're 45, 55, or older, own it. If she throws out a playful comment like, "Aren't you a little too old for me?" don't let it shake you. Instead, respond in a way that keeps her intrigued and drawn to you. Here's where a 6-step strategy comes in handy. It's designed to help you navigate this kind of situation and ensure you're always ready with a response that leaves the right impression. Let's break it down. Step 6. Understand that rules are meant to bend. Let's talk about something a lot of guys worry about: age. You've probably heard women say things like, "I don't date men older than X years," or "I'm only interested in guys closer to my age." And yeah, those statements can feel like hard rules. But here's the thing, most guys don't realize. Those rules? They're not as solid as they seem. Imagine this. A woman might start out with a checklist, no more than a 10-year age gap, but then she meets a guy who completely changes the game for her. Why? Because of how he makes her feel. If you spark genuine excitement in her, if she feels seen, valued, and completely at ease with you, those so-called rules can quickly dissolve. Now let me tie this to something deeper: Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The same principle applies here. Her rules aren't something you can control. What you can control is how you present yourself, your confidence, your energy, and your ability to connect on a meaningful level. That's where the real magic happens. Think about it. When was the last time you met someone who made you feel so good, you forgot about the details that didn't quite line up? That's the power of connection. Women are no different. They'll remember how you made them laugh, how you listened intently, or how you carried yourself with quiet confidence, not whether you were 42 or 52. And hey, let's be honest, life is full of unexpected twists, right? It's not just about fitting into someone's predetermined rules. It's about creating a moment, a vibe, an experience that makes those rules seem irrelevant. So if you catch yourself thinking, she's probably going to care about the age gap, stop. Don't let those thoughts become self-imposed barriers. Approach her with a sense of ease and authenticity. Show her who you are, your humor, your experiences, your character. Let her see the man who doesn't try to fit neatly into a box, but instead owns who he is. Because in the end, it's not the number of candles on your birthday cake that matters. It's the fire in your personality that keeps things exciting. When you lead with confidence and authenticity, you'll find that most rules are flexible, just like life itself. Step 5. Timing is everything. Let me ask you something. How many times have you met someone and within the first few minutes they already start sharing way too much about themselves? Their age, their job, their life story, all laid out in a rush. Sounds familiar, right? But here's the thing. When it comes to relationships, especially when you're talking to a younger woman, timing really is everything. Think of it like a slow-moving clock. You don't want to rush straight to the punchline. Instead, let her get to know you first. Your personality, your charm, the little quirks that make you, well, you. This is the time for you to shine. Show her the value of who you are as a person before that number comes into play. Now, let's bring in a bit of Stoicism here. There's a powerful idea from Epictetus that goes like this. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The same concept applies to dating. Don't rush to reveal everything all at once. By holding back a little and letting the connection unfold naturally, you're allowing the relationship to grow on its own terms. The more you focus on the connection you're building, the less you'll feel the need to rush into revealing details like your age. When the time comes, it won't feel like a big deal. It'll just be another part of who you are. Here's a little story. Imagine you're at a gathering, meeting someone new. You're not jumping into a sales pitch about who you are. Instead, you're engaging in conversation. Maybe you talk about your love for travel, or a passion for a hobby you've had for years. She starts to get to know your values, your humor, your worldview. Over time, she notices the confidence in your voice, the easy way you carry yourself, and the warmth in your smile. By the time the topic of age even pops up, she's already drawn to the person you are, not just the number on your birth certificate. The age difference, when it finally does come up, feels like nothing more than a little detail. You see, what really matters in a connection is the vibe you're giving off. The confidence, the energy, the sense of comfort. And if you're able to make her feel relaxed, seen, and appreciated, the timing of when you reveal your age won't even matter that much. She's already got her eyes on the bigger picture. You. And here's something crucial. Don't make it a race. Think of your interactions as a marathon, not a sprint. Rushing to share everything too soon can give the impression that you're eager, maybe even insecure. But if you slow down, letting the conversation flow naturally and building up that connection, your age becomes just a small piece of a much bigger puzzle. The deeper the connection, the less significant the numbers seem. So next time she asks about your age, or even if it's on your mind, remember, don't rush. Let the connection be what drives the conversation forward. And by the time the subject of age comes up, it won't feel like a defining moment. It'll just be part of the story you've already begun to share. Step 4. Add a playful twist. All right, here's the deal. When a woman asks you, "How old are you?" it's tempting to just give a straight answer, right? You might feel like you need to quickly get it over with, but trust me, there's a much better way to handle it that makes the conversation feel less like an interview and more like a fun, engaging exchange. Instead of just blurting it out, try this. Smile, maybe even give a little wink and say, "Why don't you guess? How old do you think I am?" It's playful, it's confident, and it totally shifts the mood. Now, she's not just waiting for your age. She's got to come up with a guess, which makes the whole thing more interactive and fun. And let's be real. People love to guess, especially when there's a little mystery involved. Here's the magic part. Most of the time, she'll guess younger than your actual age. It's just a natural thing people do, and honestly, it's often out of politeness or an attempt to make you feel good. So, if she guesses you're 38, but you're actually 45, you've got the perfect opportunity to play it cool and have some fun with it. You can give her a cheeky grin and say, "Close, but I'm actually 40. Now you've not only kept things light and playful, but you've also stayed relatively close to the truth. You're not lying, but you're keeping the mood fun and flirty. Now here's where the Stoic perspective comes in. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you respond to her question with humor and playfulness, you're taking control of the situation in a calm and confident way. You're not letting the question make you feel anxious or defensive. Instead, you're choosing how you want to steer the conversation, positively and in a way that shows you're at ease with who you are. And let's not forget about the power of humor. In Stoicism, there's this idea that life is filled with ups and downs, but it's our ability to respond with grace and a sense of humor that really sets us apart. So when you take something like your age, a question that could easily make some guys feel uncomfortable, and turn it into a playful exchange, you're practicing that very Stoic wisdom. You're showing that you're unshaken by external things. You're not caught off guard or worried about a little number. You're focused on enjoying the moment and building that connection. This playful approach keeps the vibe flirty and fun, while also giving you a chance to reveal more about who you are, without making it feel like a big deal. It shows that you're comfortable in your own skin, you don't take life too seriously, and you can handle any situation with a lighthearted attitude. So, next time she asks you about your age, remember, don't just give it up right away. Playfully turn it back on her and have fun with the moment. It'll not only keep the conversation engaging, but also allow you to subtly express that you're confident, relaxed, and comfortable with yourself, something that's always attractive. All right, before we jump back in, if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It helps YouTube share this with more men who need it, and it keeps the content coming. It's quick, free, and it makes a real difference. Thanks. Let's get back to it. Step 3. Spark curiosity. All right, here's where we turn the tables and make things a little more exciting. Because let's face it, who wants to have a boring conversation about age, right? When she asks you, "How old are you?" instead of jumping straight into the number, lean in, flash her a playful smile and say, "You're getting warm, but how about I give you some clues? You can guess again later." This little twist on the usual question turns the whole thing into a fun game, and now she's the one getting curious about you. See, by not giving the answer right away, you're doing something really smart. You're creating anticipation. You're building a little mystery, and let's be honest, mystery is intriguing. People naturally want to know more when they feel like there's something just out of reach. You've given her a reason to stay engaged, and now she'll want to figure you out. You've turned a simple question into an interactive moment, one that keeps the energy flowing and your personality in the spotlight. And if you want to kick it up a notch and really have some fun, why not throw in a bit of exaggeration? Picture this. You flash that cheeky grin, and with a twinkle in your eye you say, "Old enough to be your grandfather, just kidding. But I do have a few more years of life experience than you." The key here isn't about lying. It's about playing with the situation and showing off your humor. Humor is one of those magnetic qualities that draw people in, and when you can laugh at yourself and keep the conversation light, you're displaying confidence and ease. Now let's pull this into the realm of Stoicism for a moment. The Stoics teach us to embrace the present moment and accept what we cannot control. In this case, you can't control how old you are, but you can certainly control how you react to being asked about it. The Stoic mindset encourages us to not let external things, like a question about age, disrupt our inner peace. Instead of feeling defensive or awkward, you're taking it in stride, rolling with it, and making the best of the situation. You're not stressed about revealing your age, Because you know that what really matters is the connection you're building and the energy you bring to the conversation. And think about this for a second. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius were known for their incredible ability to stay calm and composed, no matter the situation. By approaching her question with a playful attitude, you're doing exactly that. You're showing that you don't get rattled by minor things. Instead, you maintain your composure and handle the moment with grace, which, let's face it, makes you that much more attractive. So, next time she asks you about your age, remember to spark her curiosity. Don't just give the answer right away. Instead, turn it into a playful challenge. Show her that you're someone who enjoys the moment, can handle a little teasing, and doesn't take himself too seriously. In the end, it's not the number on your birth certificate that matters. It's how you make her feel when she's around you. And with this approach, you're making her feel intrigued, engaged, and excited to learn more. Step 2. Flip the script. Okay, here's where things get a little more fun and strategic, because sometimes the best way to handle a question about your age is to not answer it at all, at least not right away. Instead, turn the question back on her. When she asks, "How old are you?" Instead of diving straight into the number, flash a confident smile and say something like, "Old enough to know exactly what I want, but what about you? How old are you? I need to make sure you're not too young for me." Notice how this works? You're not just evading the question, you're flipping the script and putting the spotlight on her. By doing this, you're showing that you're self-assured and not bothered by her question. You're a man who knows what he wants, and you're not afraid to playfully engage with her in a way that doesn't feel defensive. You're also giving her a taste of your discernment and confidence without sounding cocky. It's like a little verbal dance where both of you get to share the spotlight, and it feels less like an interrogation and more like a fun exchange. Now, this is where you can really keep things light and engaging. Once you've put the focus on her, you can follow up with something that balances the mood, like, "But I have to say, you've got great charisma." This isn't just a compliment. It's a subtle reminder that you're still paying attention to her, noticing what makes her stand out, and you're not just interested in numbers or surface-level things. This keeps the interaction positive, fun, and lighthearted, and it shows you're a man who can handle himself well in any situation. Here's where it gets interesting when we bring in the Stoic perspective. The Stoics teach us to be in control of how we react to external situations and how to maintain our peace, regardless of what's happening around us. When you get asked about your age, instead of feeling uncomfortable or defensive, the Stoic approach would be to remain calm and composed. You wouldn't let a simple question about your age throw you off balance. Instead, you'd embrace the moment, respond with confidence, and not let any external question or comment disturb your inner peace. This is where the magic happens. By remaining unshaken and not being overly concerned with someone's opinion, you're actually embodying one of the core Stoic values: mastery over your emotions. When you respond with humor, playfulness, and a shift of focus, you're demonstrating that you can rise above any potential awkwardness, handle it with ease, and keep the vibe positive and engaging. Think of it like this. If you were to approach this situation like a Stoic philosopher, you'd realize that your age is just a number. The real value lies in your character, the connection you build, and the impact you have on others. So by responding with self-assurance and even flipping the question, you're showing that you're comfortable with who you are, and that's exactly what a Stoic would do: remain true to oneself and handle external challenges with grace. So, next time she asks you about your age, try flipping the script. Show her that you're not fazed by a simple question, and use it as an opportunity to keep the conversation fun, engaging, and focused on the connection you're building. By doing so, you're not just handling the situation like a pro, you're embracing a mindset that will serve you well in every aspect of life. Step 1. Turn your age into a strength. Here's a little secret that can really shift the dynamic when talking about your age. Turn it into a strength. Instead of seeing it as something to defend or downplay, embrace it as part of who you are. Why? Because your age, your experience, and the wisdom that comes with it can be incredibly attractive. When she asks, "How old are you?" Don't just give a simple number or shy away from it. Instead, reframe it in a way that speaks volumes about your maturity, confidence, and perspective. For instance, you could say, "I'm in my early 40s and honestly I've never felt better. These years have brought me so much perspective and confidence. It's a great stage of life." Notice the difference here? You're not just telling her how old you are. You're sharing something deeper, how those years have shaped you. You're letting her know that you've gained life experience and maturity, which has made you more grounded and comfortable in your own skin. You're showing that you're not just about numbers. You're about the journey you've been on and how it's made you a stronger, more self-assured person. This mindset doesn't just answer her question, it tells her you're confident, wise, and comfortable with the life you've lived. Contrast that with some common, less confident responses like, "I'm only 45, is that okay?" Or, "I'm 50, but people say I look younger." Now, while these might seem harmless, they can actually signal a bit of insecurity. When you preface your age with a question or a qualifier like, "Is that okay?" it can come off as self-doubt, almost like you're waiting for her approval. And guess what? People can sense that, often without even realizing it. Here's the thing. Confidence is magnetic. When you answer with ease and self-assurance, it naturally draws people in. You're not seeking validation, you're simply sharing who you are. Think about it. When someone owns who they are, it's refreshing, it's powerful, and it doesn't just apply to your age, it applies to how you present yourself in every area of life. Now let's bring in a little Stoic philosophy, because this approach aligns perfectly with Stoic principles. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, believed in embracing what we cannot change and using it to our advantage. When you think about it, your age is something you can't control. But the way you view it, that's entirely in your hands. By embracing your age and seeing it as a strength, you're applying a core Stoic idea. Control what you can, accept what you can't. Age is inevitable, but how you respond to it is within your control. The Stoics teach us to reflect on our experiences, to learn from them, and to appreciate the wisdom that comes with time. So why not do the same with your age? Instead of shying away from it, use it to highlight your growth and maturity. Think about it. Someone who's been through life, who has perspective, who has weathered challenges. This is the kind of person others are naturally drawn to. Your age becomes more than just a number. It becomes a testament to everything you've learned, everything you've overcome, and everything you've yet to accomplish. So next time the question about your age comes up, don't hesitate. Embrace it. Own it. Let it reflect all the positive things about where you are in life right now. And remember, just like a Stoic would advise, the way you perceive things determines how they affect you. If you choose to see your age as an asset, it will naturally come across as one. This isn't just about answering a question. It's about showing up as the confident, wise person you've become. And trust me, that's incredibly attractive. When she keeps pushing about your age. The age question. It's one of those things that can feel a little uncomfortable when it's being pushed on you, especially if you're dealing with someone who's curious but maybe not as laid back about it. If she keeps pushing, don't get defensive or start second-guessing yourself. Instead, address it directly, but in a way that feels genuine to who you are. For example, you could calmly say, "Does age really matter to you? For me, it's always been more about the connection than a number." Now that's powerful. You're not avoiding the question, but you're also shifting the conversation to what really matters, the connection you're creating together. By making that statement, you're not just answering the question, you're telling her that you see things in a bigger picture. You're communicating that it's the emotional bond, the energy, and the compatibility between you two that truly count. Age is just a detail. Think about it. Relationships aren't built on numbers, they're built on shared experiences, mutual respect, and the way two people click. When you shift the focus like this, you automatically elevate the conversation. You're moving away from surface-level concerns and creating a deeper connection, one that's not tied to how old you are. You're showing her that you're more interested in where you're going together, not where you've come from. Now, if you're in the mood for a little humor, you can always take a more playful route. Sometimes the best way to handle these situations is with a lighthearted approach. You could say something like, "Let's see if we click first. Then we can talk about shoe sizes and birth years later." This adds a touch of fun and shows that you're not sweating the small stuff. It lightens the mood, eases any tension, and keeps the conversation easygoing. Plus, who doesn't like a little playful banter? It's a great way to keep the vibe positive, and most importantly, it shows that you don't take yourself too seriously. And this is where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics had a powerful way of dealing with external pressures. They focused on what was within their control and let go of what wasn't. Think about how this approach can apply to the age question. You can't control how others feel about your age, but you can control how you respond to it. Your response is everything. You have the power to choose your mindset. For example, Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, constantly reminded himself to focus on what truly matters: his actions, his character, and his values. He didn't waste his time worrying about external judgments. So, when the topic of your age comes up, remember, how you react is within your control. If you stand firm in your self-assurance, you show that you're grounded in your own sense of identity, just like the Stoics were grounded in their principles. The Stoic approach teaches us not to be swayed by external pressures, whether it's other people's opinions or societal expectations. Instead, we find strength in our own sense of purpose and clarity. So, next time someone pushes you about your age, take a deep breath and choose your response carefully. Do you want to get caught up in the numbers? Or do you want to stay focused on what truly matters, the connection between you two? Ultimately, it's not about denying your age or running away from it. It's about owning it with confidence and redirecting the conversation back to what's important. Because, just like the Stoics would advise, what you focus on is what shapes your experience. If you let the question of age become a defining moment, it will be. But if you focus on the connection, the bond, and the bigger picture, that's what will shine through. So, whether you respond with a confident shift of focus, a playful joke, or a Stoic reminder that it's not the years but the connection that counts, you're handling it in the most empowering way possible. Stay grounded, stay true to who you are, and remember, age is just a number. What truly matters is the connection you create. As promised, ready to use responses. Here are some witty answers you can keep in your back pocket for when the age question comes up. 1. Old enough to know better than to answer that. Say it with a grin and a wink, then change the subject smoothly. This shows you're playful and unfazed. 2. Well, how much do you weigh? Playfully turn the tables to highlight how personal the question is without being confrontational. 3. How old are you? I need to make sure you're not too old for me. This keeps the mood flirty and light while subtly putting the spotlight back on her. 4. Didn't your parents teach you it's rude to ask personal questions? Flash a cheeky smile as you say it, and smoothly move to another topic. By handling the age conversation with humor and confidence, you stay in control while showing her your self-assured nature. Remember, it's not about the number, it's about how you carry yourself and the connection you build. Confidence is always the most attractive trait in the room. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more tips on mastering communication and attraction. And don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss a video. Let's keep growing together, and I'll see you in the next one.